Are you postpartum and even thinking about the word exercise or moving your body feels overwhelming? Don't worry, I've got you. Keep watching. All right, so we are going to do an amazing full body stretch today. So we're going to start with bringing our chin to our chest and just make sure you're doing your nice deep breaths. So today I am going to do a fully standing full body stretch. So it's something, even if you feel like you don't have the energy to get up and down off the floor, with this stretch today, you don't have to. All right, chin up to the ceiling. So I'm Dr. Sarah. I'm a family physician, a wife, a mom of 5, and an exercise enthusiast. And if you are new here, absolutely welcome. Turn your head, look over the right shoulder, and we're starting just with some gentle neck stretches here. Definitely subscribe so you never miss any of my workouts or videos. And then we're going to turn the other way. Make sure you're still doing your breathing. And I definitely want you to watch till the end because I have an amazing hip stretch. I know for me, postpartum, hips and pregnant, hips are probably one of the most challenging areas in terms of pain and tightness. So definitely watch all the way to the end to see one of my favorite standing hip stretches. It took me a long time to figure this one out, but now I love it. And I use it even just kind of like brushing my teeth, cooking, whatever, because you can do all of these standing. Now I'm going to just tilt my right ear to my right shoulder and take my right hand gently. And these are intended to be, quick, doable movement things that you can do throughout the day. So if you have, I'm not sure exactly how long this video will be, and I'll get into that in a minute, but if you have the entire length of this video, awesome, do the whole stretch with me. If you don't, you can do each exercise for a minute sprinkled throughout your day. Or if you have 5 minutes, do 5. However you want to break it down and whatever works for you, depending on what stage of life you're in, what age your kids are, what your working or home life situation is. Now we're going to switch to the other side, because part of my, inspiration and motivation to create this channel was when I was postpartum with my first daughter 8 years ago. I found myself in a place where I was literally too stressed and overwhelmed to even think about exercising. And then to start to think about, how do I figure out what to do? What do I do? If I'm not in a sports bra, super sweaty at the gym, it doesn't count anyway, so I'm just not going to do anything. This is the space for you. I am the person to show you how to get out of that, how to learn things like this that are incredibly restorative for your body. They feel really good mentally and physically. It's all about, feeling good about what you're doing. And I'm here to help you eliminate the having to think about it. You can just head over to this channel, pop on a video, and get moving with me. Now I'm going to take my right arm across my body here like this. And when you're stretching, you always want to think about doing some nice deep breathing. I will link below. I think I link this in almost every single video, but that's because it's the foundational thing, which is 360 breathing. So exactly how to do that deep breathing, all the cues, I will link some of those 360 breathing videos below, so you can definitely check those out. But with stretching, it's very important to continue to think about the breathing while you're stretching and really think about sending your breath to the muscles that you're stretching. So we're going to switch sides. This one, we're really stretching sort of the upper part of that upper outer part of the arm, kind of getting into the shoulder and the delt area. And when you exhale, really thinking about lengthening the muscle that you are working. And you may be listening thinking, what is she talking about? Like, that was me. I thought, there is no way me thinking about sending my breath to an area is going to make a difference. I promise you, if you practice it over and over, you will start to see, even just here today, as we go through the stretches, with each exhale, really think about lengthening. And you'll notice at the end of a stretch, you're able to get a little bit further than you did in the beginning. And this is one, if you do this again and you feel great about it, you can also add in some wrist rotations, That's awesome too. Okay, now we're gonna go up. So I'm taking my right arm up, going behind in between my shoulder blades, and I'm taking my left arm on the elbow. I'm gonna slowly turn so you can see from the back what this looks like. So you can see my arm here, and this is getting a stretch in the tricep. And I'm gonna turn back just so you can see me. Another added thing you can do is take this and do a side bend. So for this, you wanna think about lengthening up to the ceiling first, and then gently side bending over. So you get the tricep, and now you have that stretch going all the way down your side body. In terms of length of time, so as a mom, as a busy mom, and especially when I was postpartum with that first baby, as a full-time working physician and a mom, I'm gonna just switch sides here. Keep up with that deep breathing. I found that sometimes it felt overwhelming to even have to keep track of the time. So like when I was doing either trying to do workouts by myself or watching one, if they didn't have, like it just sort of felt like an added layer of, oh my gosh, what if I'm not doing this right? Like it was still some of that all or nothing thinking. So with my personal exercise, with some of my clients that I've coached in terms of movement, and also with these videos, I sort of do it a little bit more on feel, where, you know, if you have the time to get a stretch or two in, it's okay. Like you can stretch until it feels good. And it doesn't have to be an exact amount of time. Now, I will say when I'm doing sided things like this, I do try to keep them about equal. But as you practice things over time, it will start to become second nature, and you'll know what your body needs. Okay. Awesome. So you can kind of feel that out over time. Now I'm taking my feet into they're like about hips width distance apart, and we're gonna stretch out the back a little bit here. So this is a very slow, very gentle roll down. And it's almost like you're moving one vertebrae at a time. And I just have my fingers going down the front of my shins. And you can go as low as your flexibility and mobility allow today. You may be mid-shin and stop. You may be at the top of your feet. You may be touching your fingers to the floor. But the idea is that your knees are straight, and wherever you are for that to be the case is amazing today. It's not about what I can do or what anybody else can do. It's about what you can do today and then what you do tomorrow. And one thing that I would say is to, especially with stretching and your muscle flexibility, things change day to day. So I'm just going to give you an example from this weekend. On one of the days, I did like a short, just a very easy paced run. And the day before, when I did this stretch, I was able to just like zoop right down, hands on the floor. And then the day after the run, it was like, whoo, like I was kind of, up at my knees really. I really needed to give my hamstrings, the back of my leg muscles, time to open up and lengthen, to really lengthen. I'm just rolling back up very, very gently. So we're just reversing that process. So like day to day, your flexibility can change, and that's okay. It's totally normal, totally acceptable. Okay, this next one is going to be a little bit of a balance. I'm going to show you a modification if you're still working on your balance. Especially if you're pregnant or newly postpartum, you want to be careful because your balance can change in those times. Or if you're somebody that just maybe hasn't worked on it a lot, that's absolutely okay. Here's what we can do. So this is a figure 4. This is going to be sort of a glute butt stretch. So I'm taking my left leg, placing my ankle just above the right knee, and then you just sit down as if you're sitting into a chair. So this is a trickier standing stretch. If you're wobbling all over the place, that's okay. It's normal. You can, reach out. If you have a chair next to you or maybe a wall, I'm not in the best position here to show you, but you can use a wall or a chair. And the idea is if you are a beginner, newly getting into balance stuff, absolutely use that wall, because that will allow you to relax the standing leg and really focus on the glute stretch on the leg that's bent over. So like the stretch here is in our left. So please don't feel like, oh, I can't do it by balancing, which means I'm not good enough. No, absolutely not. Like, you're here, you're doing it, you're showing up. I'm so proud of you. You should be proud of yourself for taking the time to do this, to show your body some love. And we're gonna switch sides. So again, you can do the balance version, or you can, which would be not holding on to anything, or you can use that wall. So now I'm crossing my right leg over my left. I have one hand on the wall for balance. And again, if you're using this really as a stretch, taking the pressure off the balance can allow you to get deeper into that glute stretch. If today you're like, oh, I want a little work on that standing leg, then you can take your hand off the wall. However you want to do it today is amazing. And again, I decided today to do a standing stretch because I've actually had one of the, when I ask my clients or people, what's getting in the way of you exercising or of you getting moving? And one of the things that I heard was, when I see a workout where I have to get up and down off the floor multiple times, and maybe it's the end of a long day, or maybe I didn't sleep well, and that's too much. Like, I just don't want to do that. So I thought if I could show you some stretches you could do standing. Again, most of my workouts, totally reasonable to be in your pajamas, in a cozy bra, however it works for you. It's all okay. It still counts as movement. And you will feel incredible. Even with a few minutes of stretching, try it. Just trust me. Try it. Do it for a few days in a row and see what happens. You will be so surprised how you feel with even gentle movement like this. I think especially if you're postpartum, super busy, all the things happening, it's amazing what this can do for your body. Okay. So we did those. Okay, next we are going to do, this time it's a little bit different than the one we did before. So now my feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And this is gonna be like a 3-part stretch. So we're gonna, again, slowly roll down. For the beginning, we're gonna stay in the middle. So my hands are going center. And again, wherever your hands are is amazing. This is getting more of a stretch in the, behind my knee and in my hamstring area. And again, you really want to think about those deep breaths. And in terms of how long you should hold a stretch, if this is something you're doing and this is your movement for today, or this is maybe a stretch after another type of movement, whether it's walking, something more active maybe, then these I would typically hold like anywhere from 30 seconds, sometimes even up to 3 or 4 minutes. It just depends on the body part and how tight it is. And that's something you can, adjust and play around with. So now I'm taking my hands and I'm just sort of crawling them over to my right foot. And you could have both hands maybe on your shin or your ankle. You could have one hand on either side of your foot. You could have 2 hands on the outside of your foot. It all depends on your tightness, your flexibility, and it's okay to try different things initially as you're adjusting to that stretch. And then when you find what works, then you can hold that. And don't be afraid, like, obviously much of my videos are meant to be done like over and over again as workouts that you can use. And it's okay to change it over time. So if you do this stretch,
next week, and maybe you have more flexibility for whatever reason, you were doing stretching every single day, like it's okay to change what you're doing. Now I'm just gonna go over to the other side. And this one you'll feel you're getting into like a little bit more up and into the hamstring on that side. Awesome. So we'll hold this for a little bit more, and we're gonna do 2 more. We're gonna do one more arm stretch, and then we're gonna get into that hip stretch that I was talking about. And that will be it for today. And I just wanted to say, this is a totally judgment-free, encouraging zone. Like I said, if you can't do the whole workout all at once, that's fine. If you break it up, amazing. If you do some of it today and some of it tomorrow, also amazing. Again, pajamas, awesome. Maybe you have toddlers crawling on you while you're doing this. That's okay too. And then just slowly come up. Okay, so the arm stretch we're gonna do is you're gonna have your hands in front of you like this. And you're gonna do a big inhale in and then just open up on the exhale. And just really think about letting your arms open wide, opening up that chest. I love this one, especially as a mom of a smaller baby. I think whether you're breastfeeding, whether you're like direct breastfeeding, whether you're bottle feeding, whatever you have in the bottle, I think there's a lot of time spent in this hunched over mode. And then open up again. We're gonna do one more after this like this. So I think opening up like this just feels so good. And it's very, again, very gentle. And this will be the last one. We'll just do like this. Amazing. You don't always think about it as a mom, but sometimes we contort ourselves into these wacky positions for some of the things we do. Whether you're on the floor with your kids playing, whether you're, like I said, breastfeeding or giving a bottle, whether you're like changing diapers in weird places or at weird angles. And that's where I feel like stretching is just like giving your body a hug. It's so wonderful. Okay, so hip stretch. This is really to get into the hip flexor. So I'm gonna start with putting my left leg forward, right leg back. And this one you may have to play with the distance between your legs to really maximize the stretch. So the idea is you're trying to stretch this hip flexor, which is the front of your thigh. And so you want to think about tilting your pelvis towards the wall or whatever's in front of you to kind of like tuck your bum and really stretch the front of that hip. And then to intensify it, you can lean a little bit forward. You can bring your chin down. You can even take that arm up and over. And this is another one where if you're having trouble with balance and you're wiggling and rocking, feel free to use your left hand out on a wall or wherever. If that helps you, that's amazing. And so there's all those different options I talked about. Like I said, you can play around with the distance between your legs. And then we're just gonna switch sides. But I find, like I said, especially pregnant and postpartum, especially if you're someone that struggles with low back pain, tight hips is a really big contributor to issues with your low back. So definitely that can be really a helpful area to target, whether it's kind of the back part of your hips, which we got with that figure 4 stretch, or the front part of your hips. With this one, you really want to focus on all of these. And again, you can do that lean forward and kind of up and over. And as always, you always want to talk with your personal physician, your personal healthcare team about what's appropriate for you and when it's appropriate for you to get back to exercising or starting a new program. Okay, awesome. So that's our standing full body stretch.
I hope that you guys enjoyed it. You definitely want to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a video. And if you are a mom that maybe you are postpartum, maybe you do feel like getting back to exercise is feeling really overwhelming. You're looking for a judgment-free zone. You're feeling like, does it really have to be at the gym, super sweaty, extra gear, all the things that come along with the word exercise often? Does it have to be that? And if it does, I can't do it. Like, it's going to be, I can't do that right now for my phase of life. That's okay. I am here for you. I am your person to help you along the way. If you are interested in like learning more about what that would look like, you can definitely get signed up to do a free movement coaching call. So you can learn more about that and see how that would go. But absolutely, if you are that mom, I'm here for you. Definitely, like I said, subscribe, check out more of my videos to get moving with me. Because, imagine if you're in that space of feeling overwhelmed and maybe you're stressed and you're feeling like everywhere you look online, it's these women that are doing it all and they maybe have these perfect bodies and it looks like they're just getting right back into super high intensity exercise, or they're at the gym wearing their, gym clothes. Imagine if you could do it. If you could do it at home in a way that feels amazing, that you feel supported and loved and encouraged, and it's a space that is just feeling safe and judgment free, because that is all about what I'm creating here. And that is the way that I would love to support you in just a few minutes a day. In a few minutes a day of gentle, doable exercise where you can start to reconnect with your body and feel amazing. All right. Thanks for being here. Bye, everyone.